I Saw the TV Glow is a new surrealist horror movie from A24 starring Justice Smith and Bridget Lundy Payne as two teenagers who bond over their love of a supernatural TV show called The Pink Opaque. But when that show is mysteriously canceled, things start to happen. This is a movie I really wanted to talk about because I really don't know what this movie was about. And sometimes that's kind of the beauty of movies. You have your own interpretation for certain movies like this. If this is ever shown in a film class, I know for sure that the teacher's going to be like, no, no, this is what it's about. You guys are wrong if you have your own opinion, because I hate teachers that do that. You have your own opinion about something. Everything is open to interpretation in this movie. I guarantee you, my interpretation of this movie isn't going to be the same as my friend who saw it a couple weeks ago, and his isn't going to be the same as somebody else that I know that saw it. So it's definitely capturing some different interpretations, and I think that movies need more of that, especially movies like this that just take so many risks and just feel so out there. Think of something like Beau is Afraid, where it's just so extremely out there, but a little toned down and not quite as crazy. I will say much of this movie reminded me of that scene in Beau is Afraid where Beau is like at the play. It's showing his entire life throughout that play, essentially. That's kind of what this reminded me of. There's also, in my interpretation, themes about coming out, acceptance, anxiety, depression, finding warmth in true loneliness. That's how I interpreted a lot of this. I think it's done really, really well. There are some scenes where I'm just like, what does that mean? And I can't think of an interpretation for some scenes, but for a good majority of the movie, I totally came up with what I think the movie actually means. And I think that that's where movies are at their best, when they challenge you as an audience member. And I've said that argument before, but movies like this sometimes, I like to be challenged, but sometimes they just kind of bore me to death. This one, I think it was because it was dealing with something like two teenagers bonding over a TV show. And TV being one of my favorite forms of art, film being one of my favorite forms of art. I think that that's why it stuck with me more than it actually did. Also, it has a lot to say about nostalgia. We love something when we're little, we grow up, we go back to watch that, and we don't have as much fondness for it. I've kind of done this a little bit as an adult. Like I've just for somehow things that I watched when I was little have crossed my mind. So there were times where I just went back and watched it, and I was just like, maybe that's not as great as I remember it being. But there are certain TV shows like Rugrats, Rocket Power, things like that where I'm just like, no, that's still as good, and my nostalgia is feeding me. The days where I really watched those to a T, honestly, like passionately watched TV shows like that. And there were other TV shows I watched growing up too. Smallville. I still have a huge fondness for Smallville. Love that show to death. My favorite superhero show ever created. I don't think that'll ever get old for me. You see what I mean? That the movie touches on things like that. This movie's not going to be for everyone. I can already see people being like, what the hell is this movie? It's not real horror. It's definitely out there for a lot of people. And it's going to be an interesting read and an interesting take to see what people think of this movie. I personally thought it was really good. Just a couple of things here and there where I just didn't understand it, and I think that's hindering the thought process a little bit of this movie. But I still think it's really good. I Saw the TV Glow with a full bucket of popcorn. So if you guys have seen I Saw the TV Glow, let me know what you think of it in the comment section below. Too weird? Did you get it? Whatever it may be. I'll leave my link to my website in the description below as well. You guys are the best. Thank you for watching. My name is Alex Madden, and I will see you at the movies somewhere.